You are now listening to the smooth sensations and high vibrations of Alex, host of the best relationship channel on YouTube. Alex, drop them gems on us.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth. I'm 6'4", well over 100K a year, and I'm black. Single moms, recreational use only. Recreational use only.
Not a single mom of two.
That's why he talked the way he talked.
Shout out Benny Ray for the investigative journalism.
As a single mother, do you believe you deserve a man in the top percentile?
Now I know what you're thinking. You're the single mom guy. Check me out. I never once told you not to date a single mom. I never said any of that, but this nigga.
Recreational use only.
So you got with a single mom of two, gave her a baby, and she's pregnant again. Not to mention.
Since we got a little mixed baby here, we're gonna see which Santa he chooses. We got a black Santa.
And I have the white one.
Cringy interracial couple content.
Recreational use only.
Seems to me as though
You're doing more than recreational use with her, buddy.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of the Elite Fleet. And I'm doing this once again. I just left the gym and I got notifications about this story, so I'm gonna do this video again from the whip. My bad, y'all. I be out here making money. I be out here working out. I be out here working out. I be out here making money. Why? So I can come to YouTube and use YouTube to tell you guys the truth to help you out, and I don't have to be a liar to go viral like one of the people we're about to talk about right now, which is the dude who you just seen in the clip before this video, the Fugazee Podcast. The guy's name is Cooley, I believe. I don't know. I don't watch the Fugazee Podcast. I'm not that familiar with Cooley as an individual. I have seen him pop up on my timelines from time to time, ironically, mostly because of women who are pissed about the stuff he's saying, which does honestly mostly include bashing single mothers. Well, it's recently been exposed that not only is he dating a single mother, he's dating a white single mother. And of course, the sisterhood and black women are tearing him apart. There's some black men tearing him apart too. And so the question I was asked that I wanted to respond to is whether or not I think he was exposed. Yes and no is my answer to that question. Yes, I think he was exposed. No, I think he wasn't exposed. And I'm going to explain why. Make sure your ADHD asses watch the whole video, because I actually have really good points to make in this. And I think it can help a lot of you guys understand and actually learn something, okay? From someone who doesn't have to lie on YouTube, because I don't live off of my YouTube. Either way, let's get straight into it, okay? Now, do I think that he was exposed? Let me start with the no first, and then I'll explain the yes second. Let me start with why I said yes and no. The no first. The reason I say he wasn't all the way exposed is because I watched his reply video, right? I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't have time to watch 2-3 hour live streams, right? But essentially, when I skipped to the part where he was talking about this, he essentially said this is not something that wasn't unknown. And in his defense, that channel has been around for a long time. So they had a channel called Cooley and Sarah, where Sarah, because she has no damn personality, basically has to show her body all the time and talk about her interracial relationship, because outside of showing her body and talking about her interracial relationship, she has no talent and no one will watch her. So they had a whole channel with over 1 million followers a long time ago. This is not a new channel. So in his defense, right, this isn't new information. I guess someone just decided to put the two together, put 2 and 2 together and come to the conclusion, oh, wait a minute, that's this guy from this show and this is his girl and she's a single mom. All right, so I give him one thing on that. He's right. It's not like this was hidden. It's been out in the open. People just didn't connect the dots, which is their own fault. Number 2, I actually agree with something that he said when he gave his response, which is, I already had a daughter. All right, it didn't work out with my daughter's mom. And so I went, because I have custody of my daughter, and I found me a woman who has kids too. And I got with her because 1, she has kids, so she has experience raising kids. And 2, she could be the motherly influence of my daughter since I have custody of her and I'm no longer with her mom. I cannot knock a man for making this decision. This is a logical decision. As a matter of fact, on my channel, I just made a video about this exact same topic not too long ago, where I literally answered the woman's question where she said, you always saying don't date single mothers. You're always saying don't date single mothers. So who should we date? We have to date someone. And in that video, I told her, one, you need to get back with your baby dad. That's your first option. This was the man you loved enough to let him skeet up in you. This is the man you loved enough to risk death birthing his baby. So this is the man you should be able to work it out with, all right? I'm going to assume you're smart enough not to pick a man who is so crappy, such a piece of shit, that you cannot even work it out with him and try to make the relationship work, all right? So that's always my first advice. Unless your baby dad was abusive in one of the 4 ways, which is financially abusive, mentally abusive, emotionally abusive, right? Or physically abusive. All right, which most of the time, when a woman leaves her baby father, it's not because he was any of those 4 abusives. It's because shit got real when the baby came, and she thought she could level up, almost always financially, and she thought she can get out there and find a better financial situation, and 9 out of 10 times, it doesn't work out that way. Now, if your baby daddy was abusive in one of those 4 ways, and you happen to be exception to the rule, and you actually had an abusive baby father, then I tell you, go and date another man with kids. Why? For the same things Fugazee just said. When you date a man who has kids, you already get to see how he is as a father based upon how he treats his kids, how he parents his kids. Is he a good leader of his kids? Is he a good provider for his kids? Does he give his kids good direction and provision? You can see these things, so you don't have to guess. That's number 1. Number 2, he already knows what it's like to deal with kids because he has his own damn kids. All right, so you're not introducing a new stimulus to him. You're not introducing a new scenario to him that you don't know how he's going to react to because he already has kids. All right, and number 3, you guys can help each other out. Chances are, depending on what's going on with his baby mother, his kids may need a female influence, right? A good female influence, and your kids need a good male influence. So that's what you should do. That's what he did. So I can't knock him for doing that. Now, will I have picked her to be the influence of my daughter? No. Now, this goes into part 2 of the video, which is why I told y'all ADHD asses to sit down, because this is not going to take too long. Part 2, do I think he was exposed? Yes. All right. Number 1 reason why I think, this is why I said yes and no. Because the number 1 reason why I think he was exposed is because who he picked, right, to be his lady. He picked the 304. He picked the exact type of woman that, of course, in these spaces, you know, they're always being hypocrites, right? So number 1, he bashes single mothers 24/7, but he's with a single mother. Now, here's my thing. If the nuance of, well, if you have kids, then it's okay to date a single mother had been propagated by him, right? Had that been a major talking point of his before people figured out that he got with a single mother, then I would have no problem. But the reality is, up until this man got quote unquote exposed, I have never heard anyone besides me, damn sure not him, in any of the clips I've ever seen, actually say that. All I've seen him say is, I'm a high value man, I'm better than single mothers. But you ended up with a damn single mother. Right? I never heard you say a high value man is okay getting with a single mother as long as he already has kids. I have said this. I'm documented as having said this. And no one has exposed me. No one can expose me because I'm not going to knock up a single mother. My son's going to be birthed by a woman who didn't have any kids. But that's neither here nor there. Okay? My point here is he's never went viral for saying that. But he has gone viral for pretty explicitly saying single mothers are a bad choice, and he outranks them. Sarah is not the type of woman who you should be picking as the single mother to step in and be the female influence of your daughter. Number 1, y'all talk about 304s and manufactured women all the time. This woman is clearly a 304, and she's clearly a manufactured woman. Now, I don't like to talk crap about people's family, but at the end of the day, y'all have a whole channel together where you put your kids online, you put yourselves online, y'all put a whole bunch of cringe interracial content, as we're about to see, online. So, hey, if you put your woman online, now I can talk about it. You shouldn't have put her online. I'm going to say this woman's a 304. She's got bolt-on plastic titties. All right, she's got a BBL. This is a manufactured woman. This is a 304. This is a woman who uses her body for views and clicks all the damn time. This is exactly the type of woman that you guys say on these stupid ass podcasts where you be capping all the time about what you will and won't tolerate or who you will and won't deal with, that y'all say men shouldn't deal with. But that's who you picked to be the female influence of your daughter. Matter of fact, just check some of Cher's content out.
I am not mad that you teenagers don't find me hot. I understand that this is not the desirable body type in your age group. But in my age group, I'm decent. And in your dad's age group, I'm a fucking 10, baby.
And on top of that, it's really draining. It's emotionally, physically, and spiritually exhausting.
Now, in checking some of Sarah's content out, I want to say two things. One, you seen the video where she mentioned, I might not be hot to you teenagers, but in my age bracket, I'm pretty damn good. And in your dad's age bracket, I'm a 10, baby. And once again, showing off her body in a skin-tight dress with her nipple ring showing, right? With her big fake titties out there. Now, she's such a big 304, and that's why I picked these two videos, is even when she was pregnant, she still felt the need to post a picture of herself in a goddamn bathing suit. So even when you put a baby in her, you still couldn't get the 304 all the way out of her, which means the 304 is strong as hell. You're going to need an exorcism to get this woman to stop showing her ass and titties. She's not going to do it. Now, would I want to pick a woman who's online talking about being up? First of all, why are you upset teenagers don't want you? You are a grown-ass woman. All right? That whole video is weird. Now, I might not be hot to you teenagers. Why do you want to be hot to teenagers? If I, as a man, made a video and I said, I may not be hot to you teenage girls, people would call me a PDF file and all types of stuff. They'd be treating me like Drake. They'd be treating me like Diddy. But this white woman's able to go online and literally say, out loud, I might not be hot to you teenagers, but in my age bracket, which is where you should be focused, your age bracket, I'm hot, and in your dad's age bracket, I'm a 10. Why are you worried about the opinions of teenagers in the first place? You are not a teenager. You are a grown-ass woman. Therefore, you should not be worried about the opinions of teenagers. So not only did you pick a 304 to be the female influence of your daughter, but you picked a 304 who may or may not have a young boy fetish. But I digress, all right? And this is a 304 that even being pregnant wouldn't stop her from showing off her body. Right? Because her body is a personality. She has nothing to offer outside of that. So this is the type of woman that you would constantly tell men not to date. This is the type of woman you bring on your shows to argue with, to go viral arguing with these women. But that's the type of woman you pick. Now, I've told you guys several times before, men love hoes. No matter what they say out of their mouth, men love hoes, especially high value men, because they can afford the hoes. A lot of you guys, if you could afford a Ruby Rose, if you could afford a Megan Thee Stallion, if you could afford a Sarah, that's what you would pick. Now, those of you who've been following my channel for long enough knows I've had IG models before. I've sent them back to the streets. Because when I say IG models are for recreational use, I mean that shit. When I say you do not wife a monetized woman, I mean that shit. Just like when I say if you don't have any kids, you shouldn't be out here knocking up a single mother, I mean that shit. Hence why you would never have to worry about me having a child with a woman who already had kids. It's not going to happen. But this guy doesn't mean it. All I ask dudes is to stand 10 toes down. That's all I say, right? Stand 10 toes down. Now, he's not the only dude to go out here and bash single mothers and then have a single mother, right? There's plenty of dudes in this space who do this. I mean, okay, but I will say that. So he's exposed for that, all right? Because it's not just that you're dating a single mom. Even if you go with the whole she has kids, I have kids argument, she's still a 304. She still gives 304 energy online. If anyone else was to show up with a woman like that, and if this was a black woman, let's just be honest, you'd be calling her all types of whores. But because it's a white woman, we're going to act like it's okay that she's a 304, I guess. Whatever the case may be, okay? Reason number 2 he got exposed is because, again, he never made it a regular talking point. See, here's the problem with shows like Fugazee, even Fresh and Fit, all these shows where they want to bring women on, they want to argue with women, and they want to demean women. This is why I tell you guys all the time, you'll probably never see a woman on this show, honestly. And if you ever did, like I used to have a podcast back in the day, and I did that with a woman named Sam. But if I ever was to bring a woman on, it would only really be for the woman to be honest with you guys and admit that a lot of the stuff that I'm saying is true, or for her to talk about her relationship or her marriage with her man and how she's making it work. I will never bring a woman on to argue with them because I don't see the point. What do y'all gain by listening to me argue with a hoe? There's no point arguing with a hoe. What am I arguing with a hoe about? But he would bring on single mothers on purpose. He would bring on women who were 304s on purpose to intentionally try to embarrass them. Let's not pretend that the Fugazee Podcast ever said anything empowering to women. People try to imply that I hate women, but I made some of the best videos on YouTube giving advice to women. I just can't deal with women for a long period of time because I know how they are. And the minute you say something that they don't like, they turn on you. And I don't have time to be walking on eggshells. That's why I don't make a lot of videos for women. But I don't hate women. I've never hated women. I love women. All right, I'm trying to tell the dudes to love women because everything these liars tell you women won't do, they will do. Women cook all the time. There's plenty of examples of women cooking for me on my page. Women do pay for dates when they like you. There's plenty of examples of women paying for dates on my page. plenty of examples of women being submissive, nurturing, and caring. I'm just here to show you guys that a lot of what these guys be saying is cap. Just like this dude got exposed just now. He doesn't do that. His entire platform, all he does really is bash women. Every now and then he might say something nice, but 90% of the time he's bringing women on who fit the narrative of the type of women he doesn't like on purpose so he can bash them because it's red pill porn for you guys. Red pill prawn, I should say. That's what it is. You guys out here who can't get no women, right? Y'all go around calling women 304s, which to be fair, we are in the largest society of 304s in history, all right? There's never been as many 304s as there is now. But here's one thing. As embarrassing as it is to be in a generation full of so many 304s, the only thing more embarrassing is to be the man who can't sleep with any of them, right? Women are sleeping with more men more promiscuously than ever, but there's more virgins than ever too. So imagine how frustrating it has to be as a man to see all these hoes out here shaking ass and showing titties and sleeping around, but they're not sleeping with you. Instead, they keep rotating guys like me or other 20% guys, if that's what you guys want to call them. I don't really get into that. I just think it's dudes who aren't creepy. A lot of dudes are creepy. A lot of times you can just smash a chick just off of not being creepy, but that's neither here nor there. So these dudes get pissed off because they're like, all these hoes are around me, but they won't sleep with me for whatever reason. Now I believe that to be. So they go to channels like Fresh and Fit and Fugazee Podcast to see these dudes rip women apart, act like women are the worst things in the world so that they can feel better about not having any, which helps no damn body. So you're making a podcast where you literally spend no time actually helping women and 90% of the time bashing women. That's what you do. Some of my best videos, as I mentioned, were literally good advice for women. I talked about how men can trap women. I've given advice to single mothers on more than one occasion about who they actually should be dating. I've talked about the best ages to date men. I give women good videos all the time, but I talk to the men primarily. And I don't talk to the men primarily to bash women. We bash women every now and then when they deserve it, but most of my videos are about how to get yourself in position to get women. I don't make tile videos. I don't make red pill videos. I'm trying to get you all laid. I'm trying to get you all a good girlfriend or a wife because I know that's what you want. You either want to get laid by a bunch of women or you want a good girlfriend who's going to turn to a wife. You don't really want to go make tile. You don't really hate women. You just don't know how to conquer them. So that's what we talk about. And I do the same thing for women because no matter how much they say, I'm good by myself, I don't need no man, I know you want one, which is why I give you advice on how to get one. He does not do that. He purposely brings women on to attack them. You understand what I'm saying? I've never seen the clip of a video where he told his single mother just date a man with kids. I say this all the time. I've never seen him say that until now. You understand what I'm saying? So when you do that, when you make basically red pill prawn or manosphere prawn, this is what you get. Eventually you will get exposed. Eventually you will look like a hypocrite. This is almost always how it's going to turn out, right? Like it's very rarely going to turn out any other way. And that's how it turned out for him in this case. He got exposed and now he looks like a hypocrite. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, he's sitting here talking about something, well, people don't watch all my content. Because if they had watched all my content, they would listen. Let me tell you guys something. The best gems come for those who stay to the end. I repeat, the best gems come for those who stay to the end. Whenever you make long stream content, don't ever expect people to watch all of your content. They're not going to do it. They should, but they don't. People aren't going to watch all this video, even though it's great information in it, but they're not going to do it. They're going to watch like the first 5 minutes or something. And so I say that to say, it's never an excuse to say to someone, well, you don't watch my long-form content. You just see clips. 90% of people just see clips. Even during the presidential election, people were going off of clips most of the time. That's why they made the commercials. Short 30-second slanderous commercials. Because they know most of y'all didn't have the patience to actually watch an hour to 3 hour debate. So they make slander commercials. So I'm saying that to say you can't hide behind your long-form content. You can't hide behind your long-form content. At the end of the day, you got to be concise enough to get your whole points out, even when you're doing a short. All right? Because again, if you really want to put out the message that it is okay to date single mothers as long as the man has a kid, you could have made a short and put that short out. But I have never seen a short from him where that was his content. Never, not one time, until he got exposed for dating a single mother. Now he wants to say it, but he was not saying it before. And it's also ironic that he brings mostly black women on to be his examples of single mothers and 304s, but then he goes out there and picks a white woman who's a 304 and a single mother to be in a relationship with. Listen, again, this is why I said, was he exposed? No, but also yes, because black women would have a point to be pissed at him. They would. Because I'm like, you bring mainly black women on and you bash us for basically being the exact same as the woman you picked to be your daughter's biggest influence, which is a single mother and a 304 online. That's what you did. You know, like I said, I think all the whole I'm 6'4", I make six figures, blah, blah, blah. I think that type of content is corny. That's why I don't really talk about it, because it's stupid. First of all, I live in the DMV. There's a whole bunch of dudes here who make six figures. Is there a whole bunch of dudes who are, 6 feet tall? No. But you get my point. There's more dudes who are 6 feet tall than there aren't. A lot of us do work out. A lot of us have all that stuff you're talking about. So I know in firsthand it doesn't really matter. And I also know when it comes to women, your personality is always going to count more than your money unless you're dealing with a gold digger. I told you guys most of the time before, most of the red pill talking points really only work on hoes. Women like Sarah are all you're going to get when all you have as a personality trait is I'm 6'4" and I make six figures. Most women are going to want to know, are you a whole masculine man, right? Can you fix, build, and repair things? Do you plan on getting married? Do you have a plan for your family after you get married? You know what I mean? Do you have leadership qualities? Do you have a strong network of like-minded six-figure earners? Do men respect you? Do you know how to treat a woman? All right, are you a protector? Are you a provider? It's in there, right? But there's so many other things in there. Are you funny? Are you entertaining? Are you good with kids? Dudes leave all that stuff out and just talk about, oh, I got money, and I'm 6 feet. When you start to do stuff like that, you're no different than women. What did she say? In your dad's age bracket, I'm a 10. And in my age bracket, people will kill for me. And what did she show you? She didn't show you any personality traits. She didn't show you that she was nurturing, caring, could cook, is willing to clean or anything. No, she just shows you her titties, her bolt-on titties, and her BBL, and she said that. And guess who she got? Him. So they deserve each other at the end of the day. And I talk about this all the time. High-value man who just bases his whole entire life off of having six figures and being 6 feet tall and having a six-pack or whatever, no personal traits, will end up with a 304 like Sarah. A 304 like Sarah who says, hey, I got big bolt-on titties and a BBL, and I don't need to be nurturing, caring, be able to cook or clean, so that I have good motherly skills or anything. She will end up with a shallow man like Cooley. Now, they probably are both putting on internet personalities. I don't know if they're really like that in real life or not, but you get my point. All right, this whole situation has proved a lot of my points. If you move like a lot of these red pill MGTOW men tell you to move, you're only going to attract 304s. And if you move like a lot of these 304s like Sarah tell you to move, where you just talk about your body and how good you look, then you're going to attract the man who doesn't give a shit about you outside being able to sleep with you and show you off. So again, did he get exposed? Yes. But also no, because this was a good opportunity for me to double down and once again explain how I really do think that it's better for people with kids to date other people with kids. I do agree with him about that point, but I do also still think he got exposed because he never really hammered down on that point until after people called him out for having a white single mother. So that's my thoughts on that, y'all. I am Alex and I am out. Peace.